This is a video for how to go about linking your Revit Keystone library to the Revit Keystone site plan. So you will see that I have gone in and downloaded the Revit Keystone site plan, and we will place our library on this building pad. In order for us to do that, we're going to have to link a Revit file, which is the library, to the site plan. So to do that within Revit, we're going to go to the Insert tab, and we are going to go to Revit Link. I want you to know that you cannot have your library open and do this at the same time. So I want you to notice that I am only in the Revit site plan. I do have this little east tab up here, but this is really just an east elevation of the site plan itself. I do not have the library open. You will need to be out of the library. I'm going to go to Revit Link. For me, I have my library sitting right here. You know, see my library sitting on the corner of this kind of parking lot building pad. There's different ways to think about how you're going to place your library onto the site, and you can do different things with automatically, and you can do different things manually. Like if you have a base point and you want to snap base points, you can do that manually. A lot of different ways you can do that. I'm just going to go, in this case, just auto origin to origin, and you can kind of move things around as you go. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to say open. When I say open, it's going to need a second, and it's going to go ahead and link it, and you can see, you know, your grid system that you have set up. But if I go up to my view tab and I go to 3D view, you're going to notice that our library is way below this on the elevation scale. And if I come over to elevations, I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit, and you're going to see that our library is actually all the way down here because, you know, we have some elevations that are -7 feet below the ground, and our Keystone library, you know, bottom of footing is at 778 feet above sea level. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to align our lowest footing with our lowest elevation up here. And in order to do that, we're going to tap on our library. We're going to kind of highlight it down here, and we're going to go up to the Align command, which is up here at the top. And I'm going to click on Align, and I'm going to zoom in on bottom of footing, and we want to get the elevation line here. I'm going to click on that elevation line. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to zoom down here for our bottom of footing elevation line here, and I'm going to click. Now I could zoom out real quick and zoom up, but the easiest way is just to go to our 3D view, and you can see that that placed our library right on top of that building pad. Now I can go on top of our site plan view just to get kind of, a perfectly, perpendicular to the ground looking view of how I want to place this. You can tell it's not perfectly on the pad. So again, we can, click on our, wait for it to kind of all, you can see that blue line show up, that blue square around the outside. And we'll go back to Align again. And I'm going to say, from, zoom in real quick, I'm going to say, from this side of the pad to this side of the object, we're going to align those two things to get this perfectly lined up. And we're going to go from this side to this side. Now, you can still go into a view, visibility graphics override and turn some things off. You're not going to want these grids on maybe in what you're placing. A lot of different things that you're going to want to mess with from a visibility and graphics standpoint. You might not want the elevations here within the view. I hit escape a few times on my keyboard. You notice they're still there. But you do now have your library completely linked to the site plan, which is pretty neat. So if we come down and we go to, go to shaded here, we can see that the area in here that's earth really doesn't have much of a look to it. So I'm going to go into the site, I'm going to go to grass, and I'm going to say okay. And we're going to say, our site plan now is made of grass. We see our contour lines of how, water would run up and down. It's kind of a neat thing to be able to place, that site, or excuse me, the building that you've created onto a site and have that perfectly linked, because now any changes should automatically be updated. So this is a video on how to go about linking your Revit Keystone library to the Revit Keystone library site.